Your Excellency, in recent years, we have seen a growing trend where governors of states, after serving their terms, transit to the Senate. Do you think this is a natural progression of political experience, or does it raise concerns about recycling leadership? Should there be reforms to encourage fresh political participation at that level? It seems the Senate is a place where past governors like you retire.
Dumping ground, I'll call it. No, that trend is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. For one to have served as a governor for 8 years, for one to have had that responsibility of looking after a state for 8 years, I think it's rather unfortunate that people, after having such opportunities, still think of going down. It's actually demeaning. Going down to now represent a third of their state.
Demeaning?
Yes, demeaning, very demeaning.
Okay.
Now going down to represent a third of their state in the Senate. Not just a third of their state in the Senate, become a legislator where we have 109 of them. No, I don't think it's proper. I think that explains why they've not been very productive. That explains why the things happening in the Senate are happening. People just go there to mark the register. They are not active. They are not active. So I think anybody that has the opportunity to be governor for 8 years should nicely retire.
Does that mean governorship marks the end of their political ambition?
Yes, it is the topmost position politically in a state. It's the topmost position in the state. Going by the protocol, whatever we have, in the state, it's only the president and the vice president that can take precedence over the state governor. The Senate president takes precedence after the governor in his home state. Okay? That is protocol-wise. So that is the highest position. So it's unfortunate governors transit, to use your words, to the Senate. People should be given opportunity to play those roles, not the governors.
So after being a governor, what else can a governor aspire to?
Like myself, you can retire to being a farmer. If you had something you were doing before and you think you can still fit in, you go back to those things. I'm a lawyer. I was called to buy in 1981, but I don't think I can fit in now. So I've decided to retire into farming. If tomorrow, don't get me wrong, if tomorrow Nigeria calls upon you to be their president, good and well, you become their president. If not, no. Any other position, be it senatorial, be it ministerial, whatever other position, is demeaning.
But I'm surprised a lot of people don't see it this way. Is it a case of
well, that's my personal view on it, and I think that's what it should be. No, we can't keep recycling the same people.
We have a lot of people who were governors during your time who are still at the Senate as we talk.
Some of them have gone and come back and seen the futility. Just going there to waste time. Just having that feeling that you are still in government doesn't make sense. Not good for Nigeria. Not good for us. If you are not prepared to be governor, go and test other positions. Go and be a councillor. Go and be a member House of Assembly. Go to the Senate. Go to the House of Reps. Then you come to be a governor. Once you assume that position, You can see in the US what happened to Obama. He was in the Senate for only 2 years, and he got elected as president. That was the end of his political career. And that is the way it should be.
So you can imagine Obama becoming a senator again?
No. Or becoming a governor.
Of
course, he's qualified to be, but he won't. It doesn't make sense.
There is like going back.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this contentious issue of state of origin and state of residence. Nigeria remains a country where opportunities and entitlements are often determined by your state of origin rather than where you reside and where you make your contributions. To promote national unity and deepen our sense of oneness, shouldn't we consider abolishing state of origin in favor of state of residence? What challenges or benefits do you foresee in making such a transition?
Well, I've always said it. It's even unconstitutional. The whole idea of state of origin. Constitution is very clear. Don't discriminate against anybody on grounds of where he's from. So why are we asking people? Why are we interested in knowing where people are from? We should be interested, maybe for planning purposes. We should be interested in knowing where people stay. We are saying we are one Nigeria. I keep asking this question. When you see your brothers abroad, or when you travel, when you go to any foreign land, and somebody confronts you and asks you, where are you from? You don't start saying you are Igbo or you are Hausa, because you won't understand what you're saying. What you will tell the person is you are from Nigeria. We all profess to be, would I say, interested in being one Nigeria. We can't be one Nigeria if we continue fanning the embers of sentiments of division, tribalism, and all that. No, we should all believe that we're Nigerians. That thing you do abroad, when you're asked where you're from, do it in Nigeria. Where are you from? I'm a Nigerian. Where do you live? Now you tell the person where you stay.
Now, there are some of us, like me.
Yes.
I was born in Nsukka, and I've lived in Enugu all my life. I'm in my 50s. I can't vie for a political office in Enugu. Sometimes I wish I'm not here. Sometimes I wish I could just go back to my home state. And so I understand what it feels like. But it's not about to change anytime soon, because it's like ingrained. People think, like, you remember in your second tenure, just before it was over, you made someone from another state your chief of staff. And people felt like heaven was going to fall on earth.
Well, the truth is, you are legally qualified to seek any political position in Enugu. You are legally qualified, but the people won't let you be. So legally, we pay lip service to one Nigeria. Legally, we are all one. You can live, the constitution makes it very clear. Every government must ensure that people have the freedom to stay wherever they want to be. So if we have that in our enshrined in our constitution, why are you asking me where I'm from? Rwanda, I understand, they now practice it.
Okay.
You don't go to Rwanda and start asking any person, what tribe do you belong to? You go to jail. So my take on it is, in Nigeria, it's already in the constitution. The National Assembly should take it up. Make it criminal. Criminalize it.
To ask people where they are from.
Ask people where you're from. Criminalize it. That's the only way to stop. Associations like Ohaneze Ndibo, Afanifere, Arewa, they should all be proscribed. They should all be proscribed. They shouldn't exist. They are unconstitutional. You can't come up with a society in Nigeria, an association in Nigeria, where a particular sect or tribe belongs. No. are only entitled to belong there. It's unconstitutional.
So we'll think your ideas are utopian. How
No,
realistic?
utopian, it's in the constitution. It's enshrined in the constitution. I didn't make the constitution. So these people saw it. The problem is we don't have the courage to become one Nigeria. I was excited when I woke up one day and learned that we've gone back to our old anthem.
You liked it?
Oh, beautiful. I grew up with it now. It was changed when I was in the university. So I grew up with it. We got so used to it. The first mayor of Enugu, an Hausa man. Kennedy an Igbo man, was the first indigenous vice chancellor of the University of Ibadan. Why can't we go back to those days? Why can't we be one Nigeria? Why? How can I stay in? I have a friend, very close friend, a Yoruba man from Ogun State, who came to Enugu 51 years ago, 1974.
He probably knows here more than he knows his hometown.
This is his home. He came here to go to school. He has not left. He has decided to settle down here. 51 years. So you can imagine. You can imagine. And tomorrow you tell him he's a Yoruba man. Doesn't make sense. And I'm sure if you go to Lagos, you'll find so many people like that. When we were in government, I had a lady from the north who was born here. Her father born here. Her grandfather born here. I think the great grandfather. They've been here. And you tell him, and you tell her she's from wherever. So it doesn't make sense. We should strive to become one. So my take on it is, like I said before, the National Assembly should take the bull by the horn. Let us stop paying lip service to it. Let them criminalize it, make it a crime. That is the only way it will stop.
But we also have leaders who mouth it, but who don't exemplify it in the way they treat people.
Well, I don't know about other people, but that is the way it should be. I should be able to vote for whoever wants to be president tomorrow, not on grounds of where he's from, not on grounds of where you're from. I can't vote for any person just because he's an Igbo man. I won't do it. You have to be qualified to be a president for me to vote for you.
And part of that quality is...
So we have to go beyond all these sentiments. Well, that's the way I see it, and that's the way I believe it should be.
That means you believe that a primary role of a president should be to unite the people. But we've not seen...
It's in the Constitution to take care of us.
But
make sure we're one.
The presidents we've had so far don't seem to be pushing for oneness.
Well, because we're not practicing it. You know, before now, or rather, people argue, oh, what of federal character system, enshrined also in the Constitution. We can practice it based on where you live. We can practice it based on where you live. I don't see how I can live in Kano State for 60 years and I'm from Nigeria and I won't be able to see that place as my home. It doesn't make sense. So until we get to that stage, Nigeria will still be where we are. No progress. Anybody looking for restructuring is wasting his time.
Okay, let's talk about something that has been on the front burner lately, and that's local government autonomy. The Nigerian Constitution provides for local government as the third tier of government, yet many argue, and the body language of some governors also prove that they local governments function more as extensions and appendages of state governments rather than independent entities. How clear is the Constitution on local government autonomy, and what reforms will you propose, to ensure that they truly function as they were meant to. You've been a governor. How did local government run while you were a governor?
The local government system, as we have, as prescribed by the Constitution, they are not autonomous.
They are not autonomous, okay.
Yes, they are meant to work with the state government. But they have their own responsibilities. But when it comes to like their funds, they are entitled to their funds. The state government cannot manage the funds of the local government. Local governments, when it comes to funding, they are clearly on their own. They receive allocations from the federal government and also from the state government.
Local government?
Yes. They are supposed to partake in the sharing of the internally generated revenue.
Okay.
Yes. Going by the laws. The Constitution enjoined the states to make laws for that. Already we have federal laws that made provisions for their own allocation from federal government. So, yes, we've been hearing things about autonomy. Local governments, the way they are, or they should be, they have been beautifully created. In our government, they had the liberty to be what they were supposed to be. They functioned fully. Because under the Constitution, not just that they were meant to be there and they had their own responsibilities, the state assemblies were supposed to create state planning commissions or boards. That platform, the state and the local government were supposed to come together and work together. That was exactly what we did. So I think what we've had before is state governments thinking that local governments are kind of an extension of their own powers or responsibilities. No, very wrong.
But they are not autonomous.
No, not that. I'm not quite sure what you mean by autonomous. They have, like I said, when they have their own funding, and they can also raise their own IGR. Yes, they had powers prescribed by the laws, what they are supposed to do, their responsibilities. Spelled out, if you read the fourth schedule, the Constitution, you see the functions of the local government.
But we see state governments usurping those powers.
Any state government that spends local government money, that should be seen as misappropriation. You even see local governments, or state governments, that have even gone to the extent of dissolving, so to speak, or appointing caretaker committees. These are very, very
it's very common.
No, it's very, very wrong.
We even have cases where we have people who tout as Democrats who run an almost 8-year term without a local government system.
Criminal. You know, in Nigeria, everything goes. It's criminal. There's no way you can, as a state governor, run the local government. It doesn't make sense. We had democratically elected councils from 2007 when I became governor till I left. And they worked optimally. They worked so well. I don't know if any other state has been able to achieve what we achieved when it comes to local government system. They built roads in conjunction with the states. In conjunction with the states, we built hospitals together, primary schools, so many things together. Water projects, electricity projects. We worked closely together under the auspices of the Enugu State Planning Commission. Okay, so it was good. The
So,
system as provided now, I can tell you, is excellent. Any person telling you some years ago, I think last year or so, they went to Supreme Court for interpretation. I saw it as mischief.
yeah, because I was going to ask whether there's any sense of ambiguity in the powers allotted to the states and to the local government.
No, I saw it as mischief. Any person saying that they had any ambiguity as to what the local governments were supposed to do. No, it's not true. It's not true. So clear, so clearly written. Okay, so clearly written. The states were enjoined to make laws to establish the local governments formally, and then stipulated in Schedule 4 the functions of the local government. So that must be part of that law, like we have in Enugu State. Okay, so no, I think the system is perfect as it is.
But a lot of state governments are not allowing the way it is on the schedule to run.
Because they do it and go free. If EFCC had arrested one governor for misappropriating local government funds, if they had tried if they had some governors tried and sent to jail, it will stop. It will stop immediately.
The funds for the local government, does it go to them straight or
straight? Comes to what they call, also provided for by Constitution, the Joint Account Committee, JAC. Yes, and they had full control over it. They had full control over it.
People are wondering why not so much is happening at the local government level, which incidentally is the one closest to the people.
Well, not during our time in government. My government excelled in that area. We worked so hard. I mean, we had something like, well, kind of healthy competitions between the chairmen. They would attend, because they were members of the State Economic Commission. They will attend, will reach decisions. They'll take those decisions back to their councils for approval.
Okay.
So we worked so well together. So well together. So any person that tells you, no, it's not clear what they are supposed to do, is being mischievous.
Okay, your tenure, your time in office, a lot of people have referred to as the golden era in Enugu's history, political history. Enugu State was known for its relative peace and security. You've also been, praised for putting Enugu on the map of the world. Now, given the worsening security challenges bedeviling many states, do you see state policing as a viable option?
People should go and read the law as it is. Because as it is now, under the Police Act, we have provisions for supernumerary police.
Okay.
We have provisions for special constables. That one came into force, I think, 2020 Amendment Act or whatever of the Police Act. Under that, the states working with the Nigeria Police can actually have people employed as special constables. As things are now, I think they need the special permission of the federal government, of the president, to bear arms. And why can't we do that? Why can't they get the approval of the president? And they will bear arms, of course, not without training. So if they are properly trained, the police can employ as many special constables as the states can afford on behalf of the state.
Okay, they get paid by the state.
Yeah, it has to be that way, yes.
Okay.
So that money they should have used to establish their own state police. No, there is a provision now in the Police Act. They should work with the federal government, have these things, have these people employed, and deploy them. And we have security everywhere. Because as it is now, I can tell you in Enugu State, they are lacking when it comes to personnel.
Why are you more comfortable with these constabularies as against the vigilante?
Vigilantes are not trained. They are never trained. Anything can happen. They can't even use real. I think what they use is always something they call pump action or double barrels. No. Special constables can be trained by the police, and they will be armed like the police, and they will help us.
And they'll be well documented.
Precisely. They will be working under the influence of the police. Police will be supervising them. So there'll be no question of maybe abuse by the states.
But in civilized crimes, we have state police. For instance,
we're not there yet.
Okay, we're not yet there.
We're not there yet at all. If you try it here, allow states to establish, one, it is very expensive.
Okay.
Not too many states can afford it. It's very expensive, and secondly, very prone to abuse. No governor will have opposition in his state. You know, so no. I don't think I support state police. You know, there is a window there now, so states should take advantage of it. If you have money, work with your state government, work with the IG, and they will employ people for you, arm them, and they do police work for you.
One wonders why states are not exploring that option.
I don't know. It's there in the law. I don't know.
Okay, let's look at the judiciary and the executive relations in governance. The independence of the judiciary is crucial for democracy. Everyone agrees to that. In your experience as a governor, how challenging was it to maintain a balance between the executive and the judiciary? What reforms do you think are necessary to strengthen judicial independence at the state level? And looking at what is going on now, are there similarities or are there reforms you will propose?
No reforms. Our laws are so clear. Our problem in Nigeria is the individuals. The individuals, no matter what you want to do, reforms, the human beings. These are the major factors we have. In my tenure as during my tenure as governor, incidentally, the three arms of government were headed by lawyers. I'm a lawyer. The speaker was one Eugene Odo, also a lawyer,
Yeah.
and then also, of course, the CJ, chief judge, a lawyer. So maybe that explained why we understood each other.
Okay.
Yes, and everybody had to play his role according to law. We didn't have challenges. We didn't have such challenges at all.
And probably because you were fair and not overbearing.
I mean, I knew the implication of getting judges to compromise whatever, no, or compromising judges. I knew how inappropriate it is, and to do something like that. So we allowed everybody to play his role according to law. So our law is very clear. We have an independent judiciary. Any judge that tells you he or she is not independent is being mischievous, not telling you the truth.
But you see, every governor is not like you that will allow them do their job.
No,
those who are overbearing.
No, the good thing is no lawyer has the powers. No lawyer has the powers to dismiss a judge. You can't sack a judge. You can't sack a judge. Judges, I mean, under our law, no, the appointment, you start from the Judicial Service Commission. You go up to the National Judicial Council, who will finally make recommendations to the governor. Governor will now appoint. Governor cannot sack them. Governor cannot sack his CJ, except on an address supported by a two-thirds majority of the House of Assembly. Okay, so a CJ must be very terrible, okay, for the legislature and the executive to be against him. There must be something wrong. Okay, so I don't think we need any reforms. What we need to reform is ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just about the individuals, not the system. The system is perfect.
All right. Let's look at the future of party politics in Nigeria. We've seen a growing number of political defections. In fact, somebody can be in one party in the morning and be in another in the evening. And so there are also realignments. Towards 2027, there's already a lot of realignments going on. There are defections. People are joining the ruling party. People are leaving out of this content. Then, do you think this trend strengthens or weakens democracy? What can we do to build a more ideologically driven party system?
We have to work on ourselves. Our parties, I can tell you, our parties, we don't have, how many parties in Nigeria have manifestos? Is there any policy? Is there any idea you can associate with any party? They're all the same thing. That's why it's so easy for them to move from one party to the other. They're all saying the same thing. So what the politicians in Nigeria do, they only look for vehicles to take them to wherever they are going to. That is what the party does for them. Okay? So we're not like those well-advanced democracies where if you say this, they say, oh, that's the idea of so-and-so party. Not in Nigeria. They're all doing exactly the same thing. They have the same ideas, the same policies, the same everything, the same ideologies. So they don't have. I can't think of any party that has one distinctive ideology. You say, okay, with this, we expect you to behave this way. Blah, not in Nigeria.
But they have manifestos, don't they?
Go and ask those politicians about those manifestos. They will tell you they know nothing about it. Yeah, they will tell you they know nothing about it. Ask them. They will tell you they know nothing about it. You know. So so that's the major problem we have. Do I call it a problem? I don't call it a problem. So until these ideologies evolve over time. Now the aim of every party is to win election. Not to come up with ideas, though. All they want to do is to win election. And that is why you see people get to their destinations with certain vehicles, and the following day they tell you they are in other parties. You see governors jumping ship. You see legislators jumping ship. Anyhow. So we don't have ideologies.
Shouldn't there be laws that regulate people?
The laws are there that the parties must have manifestos. But those things are not.
What about the way people move? Shouldn't there be a regulation on that?
There is a regulation, but it doesn't apply to the executive. I think the governors can move anytime.
It also appears we are tilting towards a one-party system, where if you are in the other camp and you're not in the ruling party, you seem to be not to be in sync with what is going on. Do you have concerns about that?
Well, unfortunately, this is where we are. Like I said earlier, politicians in Nigeria, all they are interested in is the vehicle that will take them to their destinations. No ideologies, nothing. So when, like now, APC is the in thing, is the party. Everybody wants to be in APC. Once upon a time, PDP was there. One time chairman, when he was chairman, Ubulafo, late Ubulafo, may God bless his soul, boasted that PDP will be in office for 60 years at least. Where is PDP? They've left, you know. So if APC takes things for granted, they may lose. They may lose. So it's for everybody to be kind of focused on whatever he or she is doing. Take party politics seriously. Parties should be encouraged to develop ideologies. Let people know what they stand for. It's not happening in Nigeria. It's about who your candidate is for any election. If you have a presidential candidate, he will come and tell you what he wants to do as a human being, not party. Okay? So that's exactly what we have.
Okay, let's look at infrastructure development and funding. As a former governor, what do you think is the biggest challenge in funding infrastructure development at the state level? And how can states become more financially independent from the federal government? And what role should internally generated revenue play in all of that?
Major role. The IGR, internally generated revenue, that's the real your real source of income apart from allocations from federal government. So if you don't want to be a beggar, you must find a way of developing your place to bring in investors, bring in activities that will generate IGR. So with the IGR you can do anything. If you raise your IGR, we did during our when we were there, and we did a lot with it. And now you can see what is happening in Enugu now. They're building up the IGR, and with that you can do anything. But if you are relying solely on the allocations from federal government, you'll be a beggar. You'll be a beggar. When we're in government, I like referring to those days. When we're in government, there was a year, there was a month. 1 September, forgotten that particular month. There was a year, one year. We had issues with the allocations, and there was no sharing of the allocations for about a month. We paid our salaries,
Okay.
We moved on, yes.
You had
We survived, yes. We survived. The workers didn't know. They didn't know we had such issues. So if you're able to raise your IGR, I'm sure you'll be independent.
For most governments, when you talk about raising IGR, it boils down to taxation. What other places should state governors be looking at?
I hope you're not just referring to income tax.
Yeah,
you get plenty of money from, like I said, if you bring in investors, you make a lot of money from them. You make a lot of money from, apart from income, personal income taxes. Yes, you make a lot of money from them.
But there should be other places the government could look at. For instance, I heard you say you are into agriculture right now. Is there anything that forbids a state government?
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Okay.
In our days, we had a pineapple plantation.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing, absolutely nothing. In fact, the Constitution encourages that. Yes, states can embark on those things. Agriculture, anything. Anything, of course, apart from mining. Yes. So,
okay, states can mine at the moment.
No, I don't think so. It's under the exclusive legislative list.
Can they do that with the federal government?
Yeah, if they agree. If they agree to, yeah, I think so. If they agree to, yeah, why not?
And recently, there's a bit of more power coming to the state governments. Many argue that Nigeria's federal structure is too centralized, leaving states with limited autonomy. Do you think there should be a restructuring of power between the federal, state, and local governments?
No, I think we're okay with the way it is now. If you look at other places like Germany and the US, those places, the regions, the provinces, the states, they came together to form the federal government. They came together to form the federal government.
Not the federal government.
No, not the other way around. So they formed the federal government. They gave the federal government powers. Okay? But here, no state existed before the federal government. Federal government created all the states. And it has to continue that way. Okay? I think we're okay the way we are.
You think the states have enough power?
Yes, plenty. They can't even manage well. States are very comfortable. I don't see anything wrong with the structure as it is. I've been hearing about restructuring. Ask them, what are you restructuring? They'll be talking about, oh, they are marginalizing these people. Remove state of origin. Nobody will be marginalized anymore. If I feel like being a Bayelsan man, I'll move to that place and stay. And I won't complain again. If you pump Nigerian money to Akwa Ibom, I'll move to that place. Okay? So that is our problem. That is whatever this thing you call restructuring. It takes care. It's as simple as that. It will take care of it.
Wow.
It will simply take care of it. So we have to take our constitution seriously. We have to take what we practice or what we preach seriously. You can see the lyrics of our new anthem.
The new old war.
In brotherhood we stand. In brotherhood we stand. We recognize the fact that we have tribes and tongues may differ, but we are one. So why can't we practice being one? That's a major problem. Selfish reasons.
Okay, finally, let's look at, a whole lot of this depends on the way we interpret the Constitution, the way we also enforce it. On whose shoulders should this responsibility lie?
Which one?
The task of ensuring that the Constitution is strictly adhered to and properly interpreted.
Yes. Well, the Constitution, you can call it a kind of a framework. Yes. It's for the National Assembly to make laws pursuant to the Constitution. Yes. So like I said, this state of origin something, let them criminalize it. That is the only way. It will be a wake-up call. People will start taking it seriously. If you know that if you call me an Igbo man in public, you go to jail, you won't call me an Igbo man. If you know you see an Hausa man, you say, oh, this is Fulani, and you go to jail, it will happen again. Let us be one. Let us practice like one Nigeria. Let us stand in one brotherhood.
A lot of people don't believe that.
Well, any person that doesn't believe in that doesn't believe in true Nigeria. Doesn't believe in the spirit of one Nigeria.
I think a lot of people have not gotten healed from the war.
From what?
The war.
No, even if you have war, like I told you earlier, I mentioned earlier, in Rwanda, Nigeria Civil War, Nigeria Biafran Civil War, compared to what they had,
the genocide,
just a joke. Okay? But where are they today? They've come together. They've decided to be one. So why can't we decide to be one? Why are we still referring to a war that took place almost 60 years ago? Huh? Almost in 2 years' time, it will be 60 years that war began. So why are we still referring to it? Lasted for 2.5 years or so. Why are we still referring to it? Why can't we move on?
It's difficult to move on when you still see signs of what led to the war.
The players you have today, I'm telling you, didn't even witness that war. The governors, all these people, only a few people who were born before the war. I don't think there is any person who was an adult before the war who is in government today. I don't think so. I don't think so. If there is any person who was an adult before the war who is in government today, I don't think so.
What about those who are up to 80?
Are they in government? They are not in government. Are they in government? So the major players we have today, they were either very young, like us. I was only 8 years old when the war broke out. I was only 8 years old. And I'm one of, you can regard me as one of the oldest. I mean, how many people my age are still governors? I turned 66 last week. So how many people my age are still in that position? So
we should get over it.
no, we must put it behind us and move on.
Okay, let's. Any final words as we wrap up this conversation?
Yes, I'll urge us Nigerians to come out and decide to be Nigerians. Very easy way out. Let us be one. Let us forget about where one is from. Let us practice what we have in our constitution. And we will be fine. Nigeria will be fine. People will oppose or laugh at me, at what I'm saying. No, except if you don't have ulterior motives, you will easily embrace what I've just told you. If we want to move ahead as a country, practice oneness. Yes, we should come out and say it. Condemn what should be condemned. Criminalize it. If you don't criminalize it, they will still continue practicing it until people are being seen thrown to jail for saying it. Nobody will take you seriously.